You mind taking your hands out of your pocket for them? He is not taking his hands out of his pocket.
Well, no, I ain't. It's cold as hell.
This is a correctional facility. So at this time, you now are under arrest. We got a squirrel over here at RSAT.
Welcome back to the JTown Press, and today we're going to do a video from Rogue Nation Audits. He's here in Paulding County at a detention center. He gets arrested. He goes all the way through the state court system, all the way up to the Georgia Supreme Court. He is submitting a habeas corpus. What's that, you say? Stick around and you'll find out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It really helps this channel out. Make sure you go over there and check out Rogue Nations. Tell them that JTown sent you. Show them some love. All the important links and important information are in the description and the pinned comment. You've got a story to tell? Contact me at the jtownpress@gmail.com. Grab your popcorn. Let's go.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Rogue Nation here with you. We're at the Paulding RSAT Center, which on the map says it's a probation detention. It's kind of cold right now. I'd say the temperature's in the low 40s, upper 30s. I know I cannot take tobacco products on the property, so I'll come in here and get a shot of the sign. We have Mr. Wonderbread here. I guess he's stopping for deliveries. No one has come out to help him. I don't blame him, it's pretty cold. Everyone is subject to a search of their person and property at any time. That's when you go inside the gates. Anyone attempting to bring contraband into the facility will be arrested and prosecuted. If you are unsure if an item is considered contraband, you must declare the item prior to you passing through. What? I don't need anything, thanks. They just tried to buzz me in, but I don't want to go in. Excuse me?
Can I help you, sir?
No, I already told the young man I don't need help.
Well, you got an extra property. You cannot record on state property without permission from the commissioned officer. This time I got to ask you to leave, sir.
I record on state property all the time.
Sir, you're not recording on this property and you can't. So this time we're asking you to leave.
Is there a law?
Yes, sir. State property, you must leave.
What's the law?
Call Paulding County Sheriff's property. You pass the guard line, sir. Do you know what a guard line is?
Yeah, I pass them all the time.
You cannot be here. Please exit.
Does the guard line say that you can't come on the property? No, it doesn't.
We're instructing you to leave.
But you don't have that power. I'm a journalist. I'm allowed to be.
Sir, no, you're not. Not with our permission. And you don't have our permission to be on this state property.
Okay.
$95F to L1A.
Go ahead.
Notify Mr. Hitchcock. We have a suspicious person on state property refusing to leave. Notify Paulding County.
Suspicious person, you did remember me telling you I was a journalist, right?
Sir, you're not complying with our instructions. We ask you to leave our property.
It doesn't matter. Your instructions mean absolutely nothing. You know what the Constitution is?
To the L1A.
The First Amendment.
Go ahead.
You in there with 95A?
I thought so. Admin.
Interrupt.
Talk to admin.
Control 2, notify Paulding County.
Info. 95A, go for 95A.
95A, we got one on state property. They were refusing to leave.
Info.
Notify Paulding County.
Do you have any no trespassing or authorized personnel only signs out there?
Sir, if I walked to your home and came to your house and I stepped on your property and you didn't have no trespassing sign and you tell me to leave and I don't leave, will I be trespassing?
If it's private property, yes. Unfortunately.
We got Paulding County coming. We good.
Yeah, unfortunately, state property is public property.
Okay.
It's different than your house. I'm sure you can appreciate that.
I can appreciate exactly what's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah, being that this has visitor parking and you have signs for visitation, that means the public's allowed in the parking lot. So, under those auspices, it's a public area.
Mm-hmm.
What is this place, by the way, RSAT? Is that probation detention it says on the Google map? Is it county? It's not county jail. Don't answer.
Sir, only question I have for you now, you got to exit state property. If you would like to make an appointment to speak with a warden, you feel free to call. But at this time, you are not allowed to be here and you're being asked to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, truck on state property. Description, please, sir.
White Caucasian, blue jeans, tennis shoes, black jacket, black umbrella, black toboggan.
After that traffic.
You mind taking your hands out of your pocket for me? $95 to 1086 $495. 95 I have this civilian outside and he is not taking his hands out of his pocket.
Well, no, I ain't. It's cold as hell.
25, Bob, get here and let us get out there and tell the police get here, I guess.
There you go. Back to work.
So I guess.
And you don't recognize our authority or the guidelines across the ball time. What's going on, man?
I'm a journalist just in the area, so I know my rights. I know the guard line. I do this all over the state of Georgia. I know this is a public lobby here, a public parking lot. They have a visitation sign right there for people to pull in and come in to visit the inmates, so I'm well within my rights. Thank you. State property is public property.
Sir, we have no visitors unless they're allowed through. No visitors coming here unless they're allowed.
I'm not trying to come in.
Or his or her designee, or even being on this property.
That's not law.
He is not signed, approved, or anything else to be on this property. He must exit this property.
The First Amendment allows it. There's no restricted access. There's no trespassing signs. There's no due process for anybody walking onto this property that they're not allowed to be here.
So what's the purpose of this today?
I'm a journalist. Like I said, it's totally within my First Amendment rights to come in on publicly accessible property and videotape whatever I get to see. I do this all over the country, not just Georgia. I'm originally from Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Indiana, Ohio. I was out in Arizona 2 weeks ago, Oklahoma City 3 weeks ago. I do this all over the country. I'm well within my rights.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but what is the actual purpose of coming here?
Well, the First Amendment, the constitutional essence of the right to free press is the right to watch over our public officials and bring their actions to the attention of the citizenry so they can make informed decisions about who's running their county, who's running their state, who's running their city. So again, if they don't have any restricted access signs, no trespassing signs out here, there's no way they can restrict access. And again, visitation sign right there tells us that the public's allowed to pull into this parking lot and come in and visit citizens. Now, they'd have to...
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's a state facility.
Of course it is.
So when they have visitation and visitation is allowed, then visitors can come at that time.
Right. Right, they can come into the facility at that time. There's no sign out here saying visitation only, Sunday 2 to 3 p.m., nobody else allowed in during those times.
Have a sign displaying when visitation is.
Well, it's called due notice, and in law, you have to give that to citizens before you're allowed to tell them they're not supposed to be there.
Somebody?
No, absolutely
no, so you're
not.
just out here filming nothing.
Filming my public facility, my public employees, which is the essence of the right to free press.
Okay. So have you got what you needed to film?
No, not yet. I just shown up and they started freaking out. I didn't try to go into any restricted areas. I took some videos of the signs, and that's about as far as I made it.
Well, they're not going to allow you to go in the facility.
I never asked to, and I don't want to. I want to stay where the public's generally allowed to be, again.
Which is not on the property.
I'm sure if you talk to your legal department, you'll find that this is perfectly legal for citizens to walk through. Again, any parking lot that's open that has no restricted access signs, you can walk through it. I'm sure you guys know this.
So, either way, you have ID on you?
No.
You have a driver's license?
I don't carry ID unless I'm breaking the law. It's not required in any of the 50 states.
It is required.
To carry ID if you're not breaking the law?
It's the law to carry an ID.
If you're driving a motor vehicle.
An ID when asked for.
No, it's not.
Okay.
And in Georgia, the statute is
so
if you're suspected of committing, have committed, or about to commit a crime. No. For what? What crime do you suspect me of?
Because we are out here we've been called out here.
That doesn't matter.
You've been out here, so we, as our policy, have to write a report, okay? We encountered you, so we need your information so we can write this report.
Am I being detained?
No, you're not being detained.
Okay, so it's consensual, so I don't have to give any information.
Okay, then you can leave.
If I'm free to leave, I'm free to stay. That's the law.
Difficult is what it is.
There's
out here trying to cause problems is what you're trying to do, right?
No, I'm trying to exercise my rights and have them respected.
You're making people uncomfortable that work here, sir.
Listen, people with mustaches make me uncomfortable. I don't call the police, okay? 9 out of 10 pedophiles.
What's your first last name?
I'm not giving any information unless I'm legally obligated to. And to legally obligate me, you have to quote me the state statute, and I'll look at it and see if I'm obligated under that state statute. Okay? Because I know you guys are state statute. I'm not obligated. Unless you can say a crime that you suspect me of.
22.
You have your information.
I do have my information.
Continue to go around and around, right?
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is tell them.
Facility that you've been asked to leave.
I understand
and they can
that.
refuse to give service to anyone.
I'm not asking for service.
Okay, you're on their property. They've asked you to leave their property. So now that is criminal trespass. Absolutely.
It's their property?
It is the state's property, correct.
Is that public property or private property?
State property.
Is it public or private?
It is public to the state, but you have been asked to leave. Whether it's public or private, it does not matter.
Okay.
You have been asked to leave by an employee who works here.
Right. Do you guys have a supervisor?
I do have a supervisor.
Let me speak to him.
You'd like to talk to him?
Yeah, absolutely.
No problem.
Somebody more versed in the law would be good.
Because I don't know the law, right?
I'm obviously not. I mean, do you think you can roll up to a city park and just start trespassing people because you're an employee of the city?
We got a call because you're out here, sir.
If a city employee asks you to leave and you don't leave, then yes, I can tell you to leave your property.
For no crime being committed.
884 Paulding. Will you start 457 or 233, please? Yes, but he says this is public property. He doesn't have to leave. So
This is a correctional facility.
that's correct.
Okay, do you want to leave?
What do you mean a correctional facility?
This is a correctional facility. So at this time, you now are under arrest. No. Move your hands. You understand? You're asked to leave regardless whether it's public or private property. You must comply I would, folks. Is that your vehicle down there in front of 911?
I don't know where that is. Where's your vehicle at? Down the road.
That's it. One of the Florida tags in front of 911.
On the park on the side of the road?
Yeah. You got any ID on you?
Nope. Because he doesn't carry ID.
What's your name?
George.
Florida?
Mm-hmm.
What's your address?
I'm not legally obligated to give that, sir.
You're under arrest.
That's good.
Give me your address. And I'll charge you with obstruction.
Okay.
Also. Is that how you want to play?
Yeah, absolutely.
Turn around and put your back on the front of that car. Hey, Randall. We got a squirrel over here at RSAT.
Really?
Yeah. So he refused to leave. I placed him under arrest out of Florida.
Okay, out of Florida. Okay.
I don't have the returns yet. We all take this guy. I got obstruction and trespassing here at RSAT. So this dude just shows up.
He shows up. We get a call from our control room.
From control, there's some dude outside with a camera.
With cameras.
Yeah.
And so I walk out and say, what you doing here? I'm a journalist. Says, sir, you cannot be here. You must exit the property.
Yep.
Well, you have a sign that says visitation. You have a spot that says visitor. So apparently I can't be here. I said, sir, this state property, you cannot be here.
Well, he was told to leave by you.
And I said, I'm asking you to
numerous
leave.
times.
Yes, sir. I'm not leaving.
Tell me your name.
Darren, D-A-R.
I-A-N.
Yes, sir. H-I-N-E-S. Lieutenant.
What's the phone number for?
770.
Alright.
443. 78.
That's here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your birthday? Might not been an issue if you had just gotten a call.
They left. Of course. Oh, yeah, I can be here. I said, these can Yeah, I told him, I said, you see the guard line?
Showed up at the
I see the guard line. But I cross them all the time. They don't mean nothing. Really? Okay.
Maybe from where you're from, but not here.
The free press is the right to watch over our public officials and bring their actions to the attention of the citizenry so they can make informed decisions about who's running their county, who's running their state, who's running their city. So again, if they don't have any restricted access signs, no trespassing signs out here, there's no way they can restrict access. And again, visitation sign right there tells us that the public's allowed to pull into this parking lot and come in and visit citizens. Now, they have...
Yes and no. Okay. Yes and no.
Okay.
It's a state facility.
Of course it is.
So when they have visitation and visitation is allowed, then visitors can come at that time, right?
Right. They can come into the facility at that time. There's no sign out here saying visitation only, Sunday 2 to 3 p.m., nobody else allowed in during...
Because they don't have to have a sign displayed when visitation is.
Well, it's called due notice, and in law, you have to give that to citizens before you're allowed to tell them they're not...
So are you here to visit somebody?
No.
No, so you're just out here filming nothing?
I'm filming my public facility, my public employees, which is the essence of the right to free press.
Okay. So have you got what you needed filmed?
No, not yet. I just shown up, and they started freaking out. I didn't try to go into any restricted areas. I took some videos of the signs, and that's about as far as I made it.
Well, they're not going to allow you to go in the facility.
I never asked to, and I don't want to. I want to stay where the public's generally allowed to be, again.
Which is not on the property.
I'm sure if you talk to your legal department, you'll find that this is perfectly legal for citizens to walk through. Access signs you can walk through. I'm sure you guys know this.
So either way, you have ID on you?
No.
You don't have a driver's license?
I don't carry ID unless I'm breaking the law. It's not required in any of the 50 states.
It is required.
To carry ID if you're breaking the law?
It's the law to carry an ID and present an ID when asked for. Okay, so you don't have identification? Okay. So you don't have identification? Okay. You got your pass. Get his name and date of birth. We're running that way.
Crime you suspect.
Because we are out here we've been called out here.
That doesn't matter.
For you being out here. So we, as our policy, have to write a report, okay? We encountered you, so we need your information so we can write this report.
Am I being detained?
No, you're not being detained.
Okay, so it's consensual, so I don't have to give any...
Okay, then you can leave.
If I'm free to leave, I'm free to stay.
So you're going to make this difficult is what it is. You're just out here trying to cause problems is what you're trying to do, right?
I'm trying to exercise my rights and have them respected.
You make people uncomfortable that work here, sir.
Listen, people with mustaches make me uncomfortable. I don't call the police, okay? 9 out of 10 pedophiles.
Sir, what's your first last name?
I'm not giving them information unless I'm legally obligated to. And to legally obligate me, you have to quote me the state statute, and I'll look at it and see if I'm obligated under that state statute. Okay? Because I know you guys' state statute. I'm not obligated. Unless you can say a crime that you suspect me of.
22.
Do you have your information?
I do.
I mean, we're going to continue to go around and around, right?
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do...
Okay, it's a state facility that you've been asked to leave. And they can refuse to give service to anyone.
I'm not asking for service.
Okay, you're on their property. They've asked you to leave their property. So now that is criminal trespass. Absolutely.
It's their property?
It is the state's property, correct.
Is that public property?
It is
private
state property.
Is it public or private?
It is public to the state, but you have been asked to leave. Whether it's public or private, it does not matter.
Okay.
You have been asked to leave by an employee who works here.
Right. Do you guys have a supervisor?
I do have a supervisor.
Let me speak to him.
You'd like to talk to him?
Yeah, absolutely.
No problem.
Somebody more versed in the law would be good.
Because I don't know the law, right?
I'm obviously not. I mean, do you think you can roll up to a city park and just start trespassing people because you're an employee of the city?
We got a call because you were out here, sir.
If a city employee asks you to leave and you don't leave, then yes, I can tell you to leave the property.
For no crime being committed.
Hey, Dave, Fort Paulding. Will you start 457 or 233, please?
Fair enough. 457.
Yes, but he says this is public property. He doesn't have to leave. So
This is a correctional facility.
that's correct.
Hey, do you want to leave?
What do you mean, a correctional facility?
This is a correctional facility. So at this time, you now are under arrest. Do not move your hands.
I'm not going to. I haven't resisted at all. Is this the supervisor that you called? Is this the supervisor you called? Okay.
When you're asked to leave correctional facility, regardless of whether it's public or private property, you must comply with those.
Sounds good.
Do you have anything on you that's going to stick, stab, poke me?
Shouldn't. Got my car keys. My car keys.
Which vehicle is yours?
Not parked here.
Huh?
It's not parked here.
Where's
Your vehicle down there in front of 911?
I don't know where that is.
Where's your vehicle at?
It's down parked down the road. That's it.
Florida tags in front of 911.
Okay. The one that's parked on the side of the road?
Mm-hmm.
Got any ID on you?
Nope.
Says he doesn't carry ID.
Mets, METZ.
What's your birthday?
11/29/73.
You from Florida?
Mm-hmm.
What's your address?
I'm not legally obligated to give that, sir.
You're under arrest. So
Good.
give me your address. I'll charge you with obstruction.
Okay.
Also. Is that how you want to play?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
I know the law, actually.
I have not spoke to that guy. That was a different guy out here the first time, but
Turn around and put your back on the front of that car.
we were getting to that point. I was sorry. Oh, yeah.
April 27th is name DOV. Let me correct that. Should be 1095 on mail. It's 27th is name DOV.
Yeah, we were getting there. I was just
Last name Metz. Mary Edward Tom Zebra. First name George. 1973, 11/29. Out of Florida.
Are you the lieutenant that called? Okay.
I was one of the guys that called.
Okay. Where was? So who actually told him to leave? The lieutenant? Can you grab him for us? Thank you.
George,
Yeah.
Hey, Randall. We got a squirrel over here at RSAT.
Really?
Yeah. So he refused to leave. I placed him under arrest out of Florida.
Okay, out of Florida. Okay.
I don't have the return yet. We all take this off. I got obstruction and trespassing here at RSAT.
Calling 3616.
Yes, sir.
Hold on.
36 my phone. I'll get it wrong.
Hey.
UDLT?
Yes, sir.
I need some information. So you good?
Okay.
No, you good. You good.
Hold on, 86. 856. Next round, Fort Met. Shows the record.
He's an inmate. What's the inmate?
That's it, right here.
That's what I'm asking. This his name?
Yeah, George Smith.
This dude's name.
This that guy's name?
That's what he says. He claims his name.
And he gave this number here?
No, that's his birthday.
No, that's his
Oh, okay. I was like, that's,
11/29.
oh, okay. 79. That's like an inmate number.
73.
73.
Okay. 73.
Will you listen for Randall?
LTZ.
What's up?
Show me 1084, please.
Have over to that.
Y'all figure it out.
Figure out what?
Whatever you're doing.
Are y'all gonna take him? This guy.
I don't know. What's you got?
Criminal trespass and obstruction at the RSAT. Refusing to leave.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They're filming.
Yep.
He's refusing to leave?
Yeah, he come up here, was filming, said that he'd film state property and all of that, and they asked him to leave, and he refused to leave, so.
Well, on that situation, I'm going to tell you to call Keith Thomas.
Okay, doke.
You got his number?
Somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
This dude just shows up.
He shows up. We get a call from our control room.
From control, there's some dude outside looking.
With filming.
Yeah.
And so I walked out and said, "What you doing here?" "I'm a journalist." Said, "Sir, you cannot be here. You must exit the property."
Yep.
Well, you have a sign that says visitation. You have a spot that says visitors. So apparently I can be here. I said, "Sir, this state property, you cannot be here."
Well, he was told to leave by you.
And I said, "I'm asking you to
Numerous
leave."
times?
Yes, sir. I'm not leaving. Here you are.
Show myself 753. Out of 127 Eccles Way, 127 Eccles Way. Reference take a long.
What's the phone number?
770
127 Eccles Way.
7807. Yes, sir.
What's your birthday?
62369.
And this obviously is recorded.
Yes, sir. I mean, he was walking the parking lot. Then he came to the gate.
Hey, Captain, Miss McAdams.
Might not been it.
Hey, man.
Hey, sir, we have a gentleman at the RSAT. He showed up at the RSAT, was recording, just trying to cause issues. The RSAT asked him to leave. He started refusing to leave. So we arrested him for obstruction and criminal trespass at the RSAT.
But see, it's a thing.
Will y'all take him?
Look, man.
I spoke to Gravit, and Gravit told me to call you.
City property. It's public property.
Yes.
Report on the outside. But you cannot.
He says he knew his First Amendment right, and he could come to a state facility and report it if he wanted to. And they asked him to leave numerous times. He wouldn't, and he started giving us a hard time. He would refuse to leave and everything else. So, criminal trespass and obstruction. Okay, thank you, sir. Bye. Per Captain Thomas. Yes.
Awesome. Love when teamwork come together. And he was recording the whole time, so he got his own evidence. Right. That's why I asked him to leave several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, me on the tape telling him several times.
Huh?
You want to run that car?
Yeah, I'll go down there and run it. If it's anywhere in the roadway, we'll tow it.
I mean, it's on 911 property.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I mean, that's our frontage right there.
Okay.
So, perfect.
Yep, we'll go take care of it.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir, no problem.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
I'm just going to follow you down there.
Yeah.
Because I want to see whose name that comes back to.
Yeah. What did that?
This didn't return to nothing.
Even out of Florida?
George Metz, no.
Per Captain Thomas. Yes. Good.
Yeah. That's going to be excellent. Hey, you want to tow that car? You want to run that car?
Yeah, I'll go down there and run it. If it's anywhere in the roadway, we'll tow it.
I mean, it's on 911 property.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I mean, that's our frontage right there.
Okay.
So, perfect.
Yep, we'll go take care of it.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir, no problem.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
I'm just going to follow you down there. Because I want to see whose name that comes back to.
Yeah.
Because this didn't return to nothing.
Even out of Florida?
George Metz, no, nothing. Is that your name? Actual name?
What's that?
George Metz.
Yes, sir.
Remember that, like, years ago when someone filmed the Paulding jail?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was Lieutenant Gutsy and Sergeant Garland that was in the video.
Mm-hmm.
But they went into their... Ollie said when y'all were in the car, Ollie was out there. So y'all could probably hear him. He was like, "You're going to have a lawsuit against them for arresting a journalist."
Mm-hmm. It comes back to George Metz.
It does?
Mm-hmm. It's got an OLN and everything too, so.
On our property.
Yep. County property, so.
Yeah. It's also maximum security threat at this stage.
He told,
Will you do a impound on it?
yeah, we'll do an impounded inventory.
They didn't think he was gonna get arrested today.
Florida statute, case law. Cannot arrest for failure to protect. Alright, so this guy parks here, walks up to the RSAT,
to the prison,
to the corrections facility,
yeah,
parking lot filming, whatever. So they come out, hey, you can't be here filming, it's a state facility, you can't film without permission from the warden or his designee, whatever. We're asking you to leave the property. Not leaving. I know my rights, I'm not leaving.
okay.
Asking you to leave the property. Asking multiple times. Refuse to leave. We get there, hey man, they've asked you to leave, you gotta go. Well, this is a public property. No, it's a state facility. You've been asked to leave, you gotta leave. Well, it's public property. It doesn't matter. When somebody tells you to leave or asks you to leave from that facility, public or private, you need to leave. Mm-hmm. I know my rights, I'm not leaving.
Okay.
Okay, do you have identification? I don't have to show you that.
Okay.
Am I being detained? Well, we're here talking, so now yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have your identification? I don't have to give you that. Okay, cool. So you're not leaving? No, I'm not leaving. Well, now you are. So we locked him up for criminal trespass. And he still didn't want to give his information. So Stein got him with obstruction too, but he was asking, where's your supervisor? Or he said, do you have a supervisor? Well, yeah, I've got one. Can I talk to him? Sure. I mean, you're going to get the same answer no matter what.
Right.
We were standing there having the conversation, and Stein pulls up, gets out, and he's like, you been asked to leave? Yeah.
Yeah. That's Steiner.
I was like, well, I mean, I was just appeasing him for a little while, but
yeah.
He wanted to play the whole...
It is in their policy, though, about not being able to film on
state property. Correct.
Without permission.
Correct.
Okay. And then they came out and said, you need to leave.
They asked him multiple times to leave. He has it on his camera, obviously, because the guy said he was recording the whole time, so he has it on his camera. They have it on their cameras, all of that stuff, too. So.
How old a fella was it?
Born in 73.
So, 46?
Yeah. I mean, he's got all kinds of cards in there that...
Yeah, you know, all these weirdos that want to try to buck the system, and...
He's got all kind of cards in there about not supporting police, and...
Yeah, that's pretty much he was.
He knows his rights and all this.
Like, well, I'm trying to come out here and show the public how we're treated, like who they're voting, like all this shit, and I was just like, what? You know?
Yeah, that kind of stuff's all over YouTube.
Yep, it is. And that will probably be too when he gets out of jail.
Sad.
Oh, whatever. But he parked down here, so his vehicle wasn't on the property. So when we asked him where he parked, he said down the roads.
I wonder if he still lives in Florida.
He said he did. Said he travels all over the nation because he's a journalist.
Journalist?
He probably gets paid to do stuff like that.
And now he says that we're going to have a lawsuit because we arrested a journalist. Like, okay.
You can arrest journalists?
That's what I thought.
We treated him with respect too. Like we were very respectful, and he just.
Yeah, there's no dealing with people like that.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But so he parks down here, I guess, so his car don't get towed when he does get in trouble or whatever. But even being here, it's on the 911's property. With the way he was acting, it could be
I would tow it.
A threat or a risk. So, yeah.
Incident to arrest.
Incident to arrest. We're going to tow his car. Yeah.
In the state of Georgia, they have a thing called the guard line. This sign's basically telling you that you're entering a guard line. It goes over a few statutes. Rogue does a fantastic job going through the sign and the statutes and what it doesn't mean, because people have a big misconception. Go ahead, Rogue.
Warning, you are now entering the guard line of Paulding R. Stat. And it has the statute 42-5-18. Items prohibited for possession by inmates, warden's authorization, penalty. And this is pretty much what the sign says. Down here, shall be unlawful for any person to obtain for, to procure for, or to give to an inmate a gun, pistol, or other weapon, intoxicating liquor, amphetamines, hallucinogenic drugs or other drugs, telecommunications device, or any other article or item without the authorization of the warden, which shall be unlawful for an inmate to possess, yada, yada, yada. A person who commits or attempts to commit a violation of this code should be guilty of a felony, yada, yada, yada. This is 42-5-14, establishment of guard lines and signs at state, county correctional institutions. It says guard lines shall be established by the warden, superintendent, or his designated representative in charge at the various state or county correctional institutions in the same manner that landlines are established, except that at each corner of the lines, signs must be used on which shall be plainly stamped or written guard line of. Signs shall also be placed at all entrances and exits for vehicles and pedestrians at the institutions and at such intervals along the guard lines as will reasonably place all persons approaching the guard lines on notice of the location of the institution. Just putting people on notice of the location of the institutions. It is no way a restricted access, a no trespassing, employees only type of signage. 42-5-15, crossing of guard lines with weapons, intoxicants, or drugs without consent of warden or superintendent. It shall be unlawful for any person to come inside the guard lines established at any state or county correctional institution with a gun, a pistol, or any other weapon, or with or under the influence of any intoxicating liquor, amphetamines, or any other hallucinogenic or other drugs, without the knowledge or consent of the warden, superintendent, or his designated representative. The crossing of the guard lines is only unlawful if you're coming inside the guard lines with any of these items. Doesn't say it shall be unlawful for any person to come inside the guard lines unless authorized by the board. It says any person inside the guard lines with these items. There's no other state statute that deals with crossing of the guard lines. Now we're going to get into a little bit of the case law here, and this is Cox Communication versus Lowe. It's a 1985 Georgia Appeals Court case. The important part here is this, and this case was about a journalist that was in a parking lot very similar to the one I was in. He was recording B-roll footage. He happened to catch an inmate on his camera. The inmate sued for invasion of his privacy. The case, didn't make it. There was no invasion of his privacy, but the important part is this one right here. And it says the videotape pictures were taken from a location several hundred feet away from the appellee, which was the inmate, in a parking lot outside of the fence which enclosed the prison. Although this parking lot was within a clearly delineated guard line surrounding the institution, see OCGA 42-5-14 and -15, which was the ones we just looked at, it was unfenced and access thereto by the public was not restricted. The presence of appellants, employees there, was not unlawful. In a parking lot outside of the fence which enclosed the prison, within the clearly delineated guard line surrounding the institution, it was not unlawful for him to be there, just like it was not unlawful for me to be where I was. And if it's not unlawful and I'm not breaking the law, then they have no authority to ask me to leave, especially when I'm out there practicing a constitutionally protected activity, a constitutional right such as free press.
Now, George has gone through every single court in the state of Georgia. He's gone all the way up to the Georgia Supreme Court, who ruled against him. He looked at the constitutionality of it, and the Supreme Court of Georgia has doubled down on his conviction. So George is now going to file habeas corpus, and he actually has a video, and he explains it beautifully.
It's got me versus the state of Georgia, Paulding County Probation. Petitioner George Douglas Metz, pro se, respectfully submits this petition for writ of habeas corpus under 28 U.S.C. 2254. Says petitioner is currently under the supervision of Paulding County Probation, which constitute custody for purposes of federal habeas corpus, Jones v. Cunningham. Venue is proper in the North District of Georgia, Atlanta Division, because Paulding County lies within this district and division, and because the judgment of conviction being challenged was issued by the Superior Court of Paulding County. It says the state court judgment challenged herein is a final criminal conviction for A, loitering near inmates, and B, obstruction. Conviction and sentence: on December 4, 2024, petitioner was arrested outside the Paulding County RSTAT Detention Center while peacefully recording video footage for journalistic purposes. On December 14, 2022, petitioner was indicted by the Paulding County Grand Jury on one count of loitering near inmates and one count of obstruction. On April 27, 2023, following a jury trial in the Superior Court of Paulding County. Petitioner was convicted of both charges and sentenced to probation. Petitioner raised constitutional issues before, during, and after trial, including vagueness of the statute, violation of First Amendment rights, and denial of proper jury instructions. Petitioner filed a direct appeal to the Supreme Court of Georgia, that's case number there, which issued a written opinion on March 6, 2025, affirming the convictions. No further appeal is available within the Georgia court system. Exhaustion of state remedies. Under 28 U.S.C. 2254 B1A, a state prisoner must exhaust available state remedies before seeking federal habeas relief. Exhaustion is satisfied when the petitioner has fairly presented the federal constitutional claims to the highest court of the state. Petitioner fully presented his federal claims, including vagueness, First Amendment rights, due process, insufficiency of evidence, and error in jury instruction to the Supreme Court of Georgia, the highest court in the state. No Georgia state habeas petition was filed because petitioner raised his constitutional challenges directly to the Supreme Court of Georgia, and the court addressed the merits of those challenges, rendering state remedies exhausted under federal law. Accordingly, all claims herein are exhausted, and federal review is proper. We get the 7 grounds for federal relief. Ground 1, the statute 425-17 is unconstitutionally vague as applied in violation of the 14th Amendment. It says the statute is void for vagueness under the Due Process Clause, where it A, fails to give ordinary people fair notice of the conduct it punishes, and or B, authorizes or encourages arbitrary and discriminatory enforcement. 42-5-17 prohibits loafing, loitering, or standing around where inmates are employed or kept. The statute provides no definition, boundary line, distance, or objective standard for determining what constitutes an area where inmates are kept. Georgia law contains several statutes where the legislature clearly defines restricted boundaries. Section 42-5-17 contains none of these protections. In this case, petitioner was standing in a public parking lot outside all fences, outside the building, and outside any location where inmates were present or could be present. The Georgia Supreme Court nonetheless held that a guard line sign, despite being unrelated to the wording of 42-5-17, provided sufficient notice. Guard line signs pertain to contraband, 42-5-15, not loitering. The Georgia Supreme Court's substitution of guard line in place of where inmates are kept is an unconstitutional expansion of the statute's meaning. This expansion violates Bowie v. City of Columbia, which prohibits states from unexpectedly and indefensibly enlarging statutes to cover previously lawful conduct. Petitioner had no notice, actual or constructive, that filming from a public parking lot could constitute a crime. Officers testified that they disagreed among themselves as to which areas where inmates are kept. A statute that leaves enforcement to unfettered officer discretion is void for vagueness under Colander. The statute, as applied here, authorized arbitrary, standardless enforcement targeted at petitioner because he was filming the facility. Such arbitrary enforcement is exactly what the Supreme Court condemned in Morales and Papa Christ Jew. For these reasons, petitioner's conviction under 42-5-17 violates the 14th Amendment. Ground 2, the conviction violates the First Amendment, retaliation for protected news gathering activity. It says the First Amendment protects the right to record police, government officials, and public buildings from public spaces. Smith v. City of Cumming. Recording public officials in the course of their duties is a core news gathering activity. Officers explicitly told petitioner the reason he had to leave was because he was recording the jail. No safety concern was articulated, no written policy was cited, no law prohibits photography of a jail from a public area. When an individual is arrested because of protected expressive activity, the arrest is unlawful retaliation. Nees v. Bartlett. Petitioner was arrested solely because he was engaged in protected First Amendment activity. Officers seized his camera and recording devices, preventing publication of the footage until discovery. The application of 42-5-17 to silence lawful news gathering is unconstitutional. The Georgia Supreme Court upheld the conviction by applying qualified immunity standards or clearly established law standards which do not govern criminal prosecutions and do not apply in habeas review. The Supreme Court has expressly rejected importing qualified immunity standards into criminal law. United States v. Lanier. Even in a non-public forum, restrictions on speech must be reasonable and viewpoint neutral. The restriction imposed on petitioner was neither reasonable nor viewpoint neutral. Petitioner's conviction violates the First Amendment. Ground 3. The trial court violated due process by refusing petitioner's First Amendment jury instruction. A defendant has a constitutional right to present a complete defense. Chambers v. Mississippi. Petitioner requested a jury instruction explaining that lawful First Amendment activity is a justification under Georgia law, that Georgia Statute 16-3-20. Petitioner also requested a charge that obstruction requires officers to be acting within the lawful discharge of their duties. The trial court refused both instructions. Without these instructions, the jury could not consider petitioner's defense that A. He was engaged in protected First Amendment activity, B. Officers were acting unlawfully by ordering him off of public property, and C. He could not be guilty of obstruction as a matter of law. The refusal to give a legally authorized and factually supported instruction violates due process. The Georgia Supreme Court's affirmance was contrary to clearly established federal law. Ground 4. Insufficient evidence supports the convictions. Jackson v. Virginia. Under Jackson v. Virginia, 443 U.S. 307, a conviction is unconstitutional unless a rational trier of fact could find guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. No rational juror could conclude petitioner was loitering where inmates are kept because A. He was filming in a public parking lot. B. Inmates were locked inside a building. C. There were 2 layers of fencing separating the public area from inmates. D. Officers admitted inmates were not outside. E. No security breach occurred. 75. No rational jury could find petitioner obstructed an officer because A. The officer's order to stop filming was unlawful. B. Officers were outside the lawful discharge of duties. C. Petitioner engaged in no physical resistance. D. Petitioner engaged in no violence or threat. E. Passive non-compliance with an unlawful order is not obstruction. 76. The evidence was constitutionally insufficient. Ground 5. Conviction based on conduct not criminalized. Bowie v. Columbia violation. The Supreme Court held in Bowie v. City of Columbia, 378 U.S. 347, that due process forbids courts from expanding statutes beyond their plain meaning to cover conduct not previously considered criminal. Section 42-5-17 contains no language prohibiting filming, photography, journalism, or recording. 80. Officers testified that filming itself was the reason for the order to leave. 81. The Georgia Supreme Court expanded 42-5-17 far beyond its text. Such expansion violates due process under Bowie. Ground 6. Officers were not engaged in the lawful discharge of their duties. Obstruction under 16-10-24 requires officers to be engaged in a lawful duty. Ordering a journalist to stop recording and leave public property is unlawful. Officers acted A. without legal authority, B. based solely on disapproval of protected speech, C. in violation of petitioner's constitutional rights. A person cannot be convicted of obstruction for failing to comply with an unlawful order. Therefore, petitioner's obstruction conviction is unconstitutional. Ground 7. The Georgia Supreme Court's decision was an unreasonable application of federal law and based on unreasonable determination of facts. Number 90. The Georgia Supreme Court ignored or misapplied Colinder, Morales, Bowie, Jackson, Chambers, Smith, Lanier, and Perry and Mansky. The court improperly imported qualified immunity standards into criminal analysis. The court expanded statutory meaning beyond its text. The court's factual findings were demonstrably incorrect, e.g., claiming petitioner was quote-unquote where inmates are kept. Under 28 U.S.C. 2254 D1 and D2, relief is warranted. Request for relief. Wherefore, petitioner respectfully requests that this court issue a writ of habeas corpus, that petitioner's convictions be vacated, that petitioner be discharged from all probation conditions. In the alternative, that petitioner be granted a new trial with proper constitutional instructions, that this court grant any additional relief it deems just and proper. And the signature, certification of service. And that's it, guys. That is my habeas corpus.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video from Rogue Nation. This was his arrest again in Paulding County, Georgia. It is still ongoing. Make sure you go over there to to Rogue Nation. The links will be in the description and the pinned comment. Show them some love. Tell them that JTown sent you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you do that over there as well. It helps the algorithm to get these stories out to we the people. That way we can fight these tyrants in court and make sure they don't continue to take away your rights. If you've got a story to tell, make sure you contact me at thejtownpress@gmail.com. And until next time, let's keep letting freedom ring.